I have no clue what is coming out of this oil pan right now. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we have a new project car at the shop. It's probably the cheapest car that I've ever won at the auction. So I won it for $100, which is extremely crazy. And it has a very, very big purpose, but we'll get into that kind of later on. I'm gonna use all the 6.4 stuff and Challenger stuff from the Scat Pack to kind of convert this thing. So it is a 2008 Dodge Magnum, and it's a V6. At the auction, the listing says it doesn't run. It had an engine fire, but it kind of looks like it overheated. So let's go check it out, and we'll kind of try to get this thing to run, hopefully drive, and maybe figure out kind of what's wrong with it. So this is pretty much what we have. It's the 2008, so it has a newer front end. It's also a little bit nicer. The interior is a little bit nicer. Everything's kind of more updated, which is a lot better than the older ones. The older ones had the almost truck headlights. This forklift is a trooper. So just pulled the Magnum in with the forklift. This is like my best friend right here. I mean, it's always there for me, helps me out when I need help, and can lift heavy things and pull heavy things. So good job, forklift. Thumbs up to you. What I want to do is lift it up and jump the starter to see if it's an electrical issue with the wiring harness in the car. Maybe that's the reason it won't crank over. It sounds like the relay in the back is energizing. When I hit the ignition, you can hear it clicking, but it is not cranking the engine. So I'm not sure if it's because these batteries are too dead. All of them seem to have 12 volts, but maybe they don't have enough amps. So I thought 3 batteries connected to this thing would crank it over. It does feel a little sticky when I try to, go with the wrench. When I put the breaker bar on there, it seems like it's all right, but just seems a little bit tighter than it should be. First impressions looking under the car, it's very, very clean. It doesn't seem like there's so far any rust. Doesn't even look like any of the bolts are rusted. So this car was a California car. I know a lot of people say, oh, California cars, they're like the best cars. There is rust and stuff in California. This stuff right here looks exactly like the Hellcat. Man, this has a lot of similarities. These cars definitely, man, look at that. That's the same. This is gonna be really, really a quick swap to get that 6.4 in there. It sounds like I need to hook another battery up to it. I did barely get it to crank just by jumping the starter, so it must just be some electrical issue why it's not starting. We're gonna lower it down now that it has done that, connect another battery, and see if she'll actually start with the key. Now we have another battery connected. Let's try to start with the key and see what happens. Come on. So the car is not wanting to really crank over. It's pretty difficult to turn it by hand as well. What I'm going to do now is drain some oil out of the pan. This way I can look what's in the oil, make sure there's not a bunch of metal particles and whatnot in there. Also, it's pretty overfilled, probably 3 quarts overfilled. So the dipstick, the thing's down here, and there's like, it's that much further on the dipstick. So we're gonna drain some oil, check it out, and then maybe it could be a bad starter. That's a very big possibility. It should wanna, when I apply power to the pins without it engaged to the flywheel, it should free spin, but it's not wanting to do that. It's just pretty much shorting out. So let's drain some oil, check it out, get some oil out of the, the engine so it's not super overfilled. Okay, there's something going on here. It looks like there's water in here, which usually means it's from the head gaskets. That might be why it's so overfilled, because oil floats on top of water. I mean, unless they put Pepsi in here. I don't even know what that is. What the hell? What is going on here? What is going on here? The dipstick reads full. This is crazy. I have no clue what is happening. I wonder if there's like some kind of blockage or something. Let's stuff a screwdriver in there. Holy sh! Yep, there's something in there. Oh man, now I'm gonna be all covered in this crap. What is going on? It's so much! Oh, ah! What? Oh, that's oil now, I think. What is that? Holy crap! What is this coming out of the engine? What is coming out of this engine? It's like gooey, watery, oily stuff. I have no clue what this is. This is the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life. I mean, I've seen some bad stuff, but look at that. I have no clue what is coming out of this oil pan right now. It started off like super thin oil, and now it's like crude oil or like Vaseline. I have no clue what the dipstick read fine, and it smelled like oil, it looked like oil. It didn't look like this. What is going on here? Look at this stuff. This is like when you have Taco Bell and then you instantly regret it. I mean, I have no other way to explain it. This is crazy. I have no clue what this stuff is. It has to be some weird, it has to be oil, because water, it wouldn't be like that. It's just sludgy. Holy crap. I wonder what this is. I wonder what mixture made this. Oh, I think that's the oil. I have no clue. I thought that was oil. What is going on? How full is this thing? That's like a diesel truck, like pan. Holy crap. Like, look how full this thing is. This thing is like for diesel trucks, not for V6 Magnums. I'm so glad that I decided to put this stuff in a pan instead of the good oil container. How is there this much fluid in there? I 100% guarantee it's gonna start now. Uh-oh, here we go. Oh. Yeah, I didn't think there was this much stuff in there. Is that it? Nope. I don't think there are words to explain how gross this oil is. I'm pretty sure this is oil. It has to be. When coolant mixes with oil, it turns milky, and when water mixes with oil, it turns milky. I have some oil over here that literally, that's what coolant in oil looks like. It gets milky. This stuff is just brown. It's thick too. Look how thick that is. This is like hundredweight oil or something. Holy crap. And look how much of it there was. This has to be, I don't know how much this is. This has to be like 2 gallons of engine oil. Has to be. Let's, I'm not even gonna add oil to this. This engine's probably bad. And I guess we'll try to start it. See if she starts. I mean, I think it was just too full. I mean, she's cranking now. Oh, buddy. Woo! Look at that air filter. It's dirty on both sides. Yeah. That didn't sound too bad. Like sounds like she has a little bit of a tick. Got back from the parts store and got a new battery for the Magnum. Didn't have to pay for this. That was awesome. So this is a $193 battery. What I did, I'm not going to name the store, but I swapped that fuel pump out of the Volvo that had the receipt, and everything in the box is brand new, still in the bag, and I swapped that fuel pump for this battery. So I technically got a free battery, or I only paid $200 for the Volvo. So either way, the Magnum needed a new battery, because after I end up blowing the engine up, or whatever blows up first, the engine, transmission, drivetrain is all coming out of it. So let's put this battery in there and have a little bit of fun. Now I have the new battery in the back of the Magnum, and it is crazy how similar this chassis is to the Hellcat. The battery mount is exactly the same. Everything back here is the same, other than the hatch and the back, you know, quarter glasses or whatever you want to call them. I feel like everything is going to directly bolt in. So now we're done back here. I can take this piece of wood out of here because I'm pretty sure I shouldn't have any more issues with the, I spoke too soon maybe, but let's grab the key, try to start her up, and let's see. The locks work. I wonder if any of these other buttons work. Nope, 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 nope. Okay, let's see if she gives the good old fire up without having to have a million batteries connected to it. Oh man, here we go. Here we go, boys. Think she'll do a Bernie? Aw. Jeez. Probably could do a dirt Bernie. Man, won't do a Bernie. Now that the Magnum is running and driving, I'm gonna clean the interior really quick. Not really clean it, but I'm just gonna gather up all the trash that was left in the car and pretty much just get it a little bit less trashy inside and a little more clean. So once I begin to pull everything out of it, the dash and all that stuff to swap the scat back stuff in, there won't be a bunch of trash in there. Not really much cleaner inside. It just doesn't have a bunch of trash laying all over the place. So I was trying to find the source of the coolant leak on this thing, and it's pretty obvious. It's right on the bottom. Here, let's see if I can go on this side. See right there? That's the bottom of the coolant reservoir, and it looks like it just broke off. So it's laying down there. It goes over there. I think I know what happened to the Magnum. I'm guessing why the oil was so thick was because the engine overheated. And that probably explains why all this sheathing and stuff is so brittle. But I was looking at the coolant reservoir and I noticed one of the lines was bad. So I pulled it off and then I was like, what is going on here? And they have like literally splices with no clamps on there. It looks like a piece of like pipe you get from Home Depot. But there's not just one. There's multiple ones. The one coming off the heater cores like that. The one going down to the bottom of the engines like that. Just finished driving the Magnum, and it is very, very surprising that this thing drives as good as it does. It shifts nice. It pretty much runs fine, but it doesn't have any coolant in there. And this oil was super, super thick. I can't believe how thick that oil was, but it had like at least 2 gallons of oil in it. Most likely the cause for it not starting when I got it from the auction. And yeah, it's surprising that it actually runs and drives. So that's gonna wrap up this episode of this Magnum. The future episodes for this thing, I'm probably gonna blow the engine up in it. Well, see what happens first. Blow the engine or the tranny up in it, because the engine is pretty much garbage to me anyway. I would not sell this engine to anyone just because it might run, but it definitely has some cooling system issue. And so I think blowing it up is the next best cause. since we're not even going to use that V6, and we are sticking the 6.4 out of the Scat Pack in it. So we're going to have this whole drivetrain bolted in it, front drivetrain, rear drivetrain, all the wiring, all the accessories. It's going to be pretty much a Magnum Scat Pack. So we are going to have a 500 horsepower Magnum pretty quick, I'm thinking. I don't think it'll be very, very hard to get this thing to actually run and drive with all the Scat Pack stuff in it. To get all the stuff in the rear to actually work with the Scat Pack stuff in it, that's going to be a different story, but we'll worry about that afterwards. And if you like these videos, make sure to smash that subscribe button, throw a comment below, give the video a thumbs up, and as always, see you guys next time.